You know when that update comes out and it's 7.2 gigabytes? I just feel bad for everyone with a poor connection. Hello viewers, you are watching Unknown Emerald and welcome to the Monitor's Bounty Forge breakdown, where I go through the different pieces in the new Forge palette and go through them in detail, so let's get to it. I'm not going to talk too much about the Sanhelios or the depth pieces, but as you can see we have a ton of new plantations. Those are some just variations that I've picked up. There's so much more, and then some Sanhelios pieces. We also have statues, etc, but those are not the interesting stuff. What I really want to focus to talk about are the grenade launches and the cool things. So for example, over here we have a creature pod, which is something awesome. You can actually put dead bodies inside of it, and the cool thing about it is you can break it down, so you can actually put cracks on it, you can destroy the whole thing, and you can have a dead body inside of it. So let's say maybe there's like a dead creature inside, maybe that like you can put like a pod inside of it, for example, too. So maybe like a flood creature was inside of it, and then you just break the whole thing down, and the flood creature came out, and it's actually behind you right now. So you can add a lot of story to your maps with stuff like that, things like that. So definitely something to use on your maps for when you're making an infection map, or maybe like a mini game of some sort. But moving on. We have tools, we have actual tools, so cool, I really like these. So we always had this toolbox, for example, but never those smaller pieces, and now we have like a saw, we have like a nail gun, and a lot of different things. I'm not entirely sure what each one of them is used for. Those are some very technological UNSC pieces, but moving on, we have some destructible stuff. So you can shoulder charge through them, you can actually melee those pieces down. The wall is very interesting because you can actually break down the pieces of it, so you can't destroy the whole thing altogether unless you shoulder charge through it. But if you like, for example, melee it a little bit, like grenade launch it for a tiny bit, you can actually destroy the pieces of the wall, so the whole thing breaks down piece by piece. I should just melee the whole thing down, but as you can see, it breaks down. You can see through it, the whole thing, and you can use that for maybe like an escape map of something or something like that. A lot of different like things can be used for this. And the same thing can be done with those pieces. Oh, what the hell did they go? I need to go to the structures. Not the structures, the props actually. Go to the destructible, not even. Nah. Alright, there we go. So now I have a broken pipe and the one that you can actually break in a bit. So there's actually a difference between the one that you can break and the one you cannot. So this one's a little bit broken down and this one's a little bit more straightforward. It's just straight down. You can't break this one down, but you can actually melee this thing, and it takes 2 melees with 100% melee capacity. So 2 melees and you can break down the pipe entrance. And for example, for the walls, we also always had the boards and the pallets, but they never did it for us. Like you could put a board over here, you can destroy the board and then walk through it, but that usually didn't really look cool. It didn't look smooth enough. But like for example, if you were to make this out of pallets, it would take like what, 20 pallets to make this, and it wouldn't look very cool. So stuff like that is very welcome in the new Forge palette. And we also had the same thing with ground pound. So if I can just ground pound on top of it, can break through this. How cool is that? How cool is this? Like, let's say there's like an entrance to the map and you have to go through something like that to break through it. How cool is that? Something very awesome. And moving on, we now have different variations for the vehicles. So we have a, this is actually available in the Firefight, the Warzone Assault as well. You can see those vans in the maps, and we never had them in the Forge pieces for some reason, I don't know why, but now we actually have them. And we also have this one, something very cool. This is like more of a container truck. There may be some stuff inside of it, so that's very cool. And moving on, there's a Warhog, and I also added this, which is very weird. Look. Oh my god, style points right there. So this is something very awesome. So with the racetracks now being announced, you can actually add things like this onto your map. So let's try to like actually go through it. I can't even do that. So there is that. Something very cool. So I always want to have something like this on the map, not just for vehicles, but just to launch you. Look how cool is that? And then you can ground pound it down. Oh my god, that is so cool. So cool. I hope I'm not talking too quick through it, but I'm just really excited about this update, and I kind of want to go and finish my mini games and stuff like that. So, of course, most of you know we have the Hannibal and the Oni Wasp, which is something very cool. And another thing we have is actually an Invisible Wasp. And we have invisible vehicles. Like, all the vehicles can be invisible for some reason now. I don't know what that can be used for, but you can get inside of it and it becomes visible when you actually go inside of it. So I do not know what the actual... I know you can use it for some kind of a minigame app, just don't know where you can actually use it from, like the top of my head. So moving on, we have a Wraith as well. We have the anti-air Wraith, and this... I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. I do have a minigame I want to like make out of this, but the wasps take a ton of hits. I know I'm shooting a Hannibal one, but the actual fuel rod shots, I'm just gonna call them fuel rod shots. Fuel rod shots, there we go. And they don't travel that fast when you think about it. Like, I want to make a mini game where you have to destroy like a bunch of wasps approaching you, and if they get past you, they win the round, something like that. And I really want to use the anti-air wraith in some kind of a mini game, so I'm definitely gonna try to implement that in some kind of way. Actually, let me try something very, very stupid real quick. So you can move around this thing, and I'm gonna go onto this thing. Oh, let's go! Didn't go very far, but that's pretty much it for the forge pieces. There's like a ton of different things. There's like triangles, there's new like accents, there's a bunch of different things. I just went through like a surface. I didn't want to talk about too much detail on every single thing because there are 650 objects. That's a lot of stuff to go through, so I just went through all the ones that I thought needed to be like went through, if that makes any sense. But let me talk about some other things other than the forge. So one very awesome thing that they've added, you can put a limit on your fire team now to 16 people. You no longer have to worry about the limit of the fire team going above 16 people. So whenever I hosted custom games, I think it happened every single custom, like literally every custom game I play, there's always a time where I have like 17 or 18 people in my game and I have to kick someone out and I just feel horrible about myself. So that always happens when there's like 17 or 18 people. Someone has to be kicked out because you cannot start a game unless you have 16 people in your game. So now you can set the limit to 16 people. So if someone does decide to join when there's already 16 people in the game, it will tell them that you cannot actually join at this moment because the fire team is full, something like that. So that's a very welcome change to the custom game community. Like maybe some more people will start actually hosting customs, and that will definitely improve my experience with custom games and not make me feel like a horrible person, like some kind of a monster for kicking someone out from my custom games, which is no longer going to happen. So that's very, very cool. So I think I've talked about everything I could talk about in this Forge update. I know there's a ton of other pieces I didn't go through, there's like statues and stuff, but if you guys want to see the whole thing, then you're more than welcome to just go into Forge and spawn every single object, spawn all 650 objects if you feel the need to do so. And if you want to see the list of them, then there will be a link to the Halo Waypoint page in the description below. So if you want to see the list of it, then the link to that will be in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. So, see you.